$1 million bonus. It's the final jackpot prize tonight. If you are forgetting how King of the Court works, this is how. $5 bet on any player prop market that you like, whether that's points, threes, assists, rebounds, whatever you choose. Use your King of the Court token at DraftKings Sportsbook on the bet. And if that player leads all players that night in the NBA in points plus rebounds plus assists, you and everybody else who shared that player as your King of the Court pick will split the $1 million bonus bet pool. For tonight, just surveying the landscape a little bit, the two big names that we're always keeping an eye on are not in action. No Luka and no Nikola Jokic, which means we could get creative, Dave. So give us the targets. Who are we looking at tonight?
That's like 30% of winners from the season not in play tonight. Those two guys alone. Granted, Luka's doing the heavy lifting there, but for the most part, the two of them have been the 50 PRA guys at the top of the projections every single week. We don't have to worry about that this week. That could maybe change things in terms of opening or lowering the floor that you kind of need to win this, or it's just going to mean it's still going to be, as big as it ever was, and it's going to be the player who goes absolutely nuclear the most. So let's look at the 5 that come up here. A couple interesting cases overall in the top 3, starting with Kawhi Leonard in Clippers Mavs, got him projected for 42.1 PRA. Clippers have clinched the play-in, but they could still fall to the lower seed game. Obviously, that means they need 2 wins instead of 1 to make the actual playoffs, so they will be motivated still. Facing the Mavs, ranking 23rd or worse versus opponents in points, rebounds, and assists over their last 15 games. Most relevant weaknesses for Kawhi there would be points and rebounds. He's not really a big assist compiler, but they rank 26th versus points, 23rd versus rebounds specifically. He is our top projected scorer of the night at 30.5 points, higher than even SGA, which is pretty rare from just a scoring perspective. That's probably where I would go with him, is in targeting points for his prop for your entry play. And certainly things are in play for him with the defensive matchup to lead the way. He won once before. He tied Cat on Christmas for 48 or 49 PRA, I believe it was, returned a pretty sizable bonus bet then. That was when there were 3 pools, so it probably wouldn't be nearly as big this time around. Also have to maybe adjust your sense for what the return will be, because it's been $2 million of a bonus bet pool for the last several weeks. Now it will be 1, so it will be smaller regardless. The next one's really interesting. LeBron James, right? So kind of taking Luka's place here at the top of the board, in theory anyway. Got the Thunder on tap. One of the worst losses of LeBron's career just last week versus the Thunder. So I think he should be pretty motivated in this. He was listed questionable before. So keep your eyes on that, I guess. But he's the top projection for the Lakers with both Luka and Austin Reeves out for the rest of the regular season. This thing gets particularly interesting because LeBron could be playing in his final season. He's been coy about it. I think we kind of expect that, but who actually knows? Making a potential King of the Court win here pretty poetic if the King wins the final King of the Court jackpot in his final possible chance of his career. Just kind of food for thought there in terms of thinking about the intangible, larger narratives to these things. Obviously doing the unthinkable in his age 41 season. Oldest player to record a triple-double. Did that 3 times now, twice last month. Got him in that double-double, triple-double territory with 7.2 boards and 8.4 assists. Like I said, he's probably a little extra motivated after suffering that terrible loss versus the same Thunder team last week. Big caveat would be that Oklahoma City boasts one of the league's top defenses across the board in pretty much every category. So he'll have to do LeBron things, but he's LeBron and LeBron does LeBron things. He won $2,100 when he won it before. That won't be the case this time, but probably a bigger bonus bet than, maybe some of the guys here at the top of the board. Rounding out the top 3 with SGA in that same game, projected almost the exact same PRA as LeBron. He's usually here at the top, second or third, benefiting again tonight from the absence of Luka and Jokic. Despite being the league's second highest scorer, right behind Luka, yet to win a King of the Court this season. Probably a combination of things, both constantly getting passed by Luka on Tuesdays, and losing out on that slightly little extra bit of upside with well-rounded stat box scores. He is a premier scorer, doesn't totally stuff the stat sheet. He's top 20 in assists. He's outside the top 100 in rebounds. Just not really the case you see with a lot of the guys who are multifaceted at the top of the board. Not a knock on his game at all. Of course, he's incredible, but possibly working in his favor now is that might be enough tonight. He could probably drop 35 and some compiling stats and flirt with the top. If he scores 40, 45, as we know he was wont to do, that might be enough on its own. Chip in a couple rebounds, assists, and that could do it. So even a repeat of last week's game against the Lakers, where he went 28, 7, and 7, that would be higher than anybody's projected for PRA tonight. So could finally be his time on the last Tuesday of the season. Moving to the long shots. Cooper Flagg here. This one is personal. I featured him as our biggest long shot last week. He turned in a fine game of 19, 10, and 3 versus the Bucks, then proceeded to drop 51 and 45 points in his next few games with 62 and 60 total PRA in each of those games. Hard to fade a hot hand like that, so we're going to ride with him here as our top long shot play. Rounds out the top 5 anyway. He's not really that deep down the leaderboard. Clippers rank right in the middle of the league in terms of defense as far as points, rebounds, assists are concerned. Not really locking teams down, not giving up any absolutely nuclear performances either. A couple lower tier scorers have broken through against them lately. Drew Holiday, Gary Trent Jr. for 30-plus points in the past week. And both Cooper Flagg's assist and points projections ranked top 10 on tonight's slate. Would be a fitting kind of end to his rookie season for him since the Mavs aren't going anywhere. And then rounding it out here, Julius Randle, Timberwolves, Pacers. He's probably got the best actual matchup on the board as far as the Pacers are concerned defensively. Pretty well-rounded line, 23.7 points, 7.0 rebounds, 5.2 assists. None of those are top 5 overall, but they're pretty strong across all 3 categories, showing a nice well-rounded contribution of a game. That's usually the best way to obviously chip away at the PRA total is by contributing in multiple facets of the game. Pacers ranked 24th versus points, 23rd versus boards, 17th versus assists over their last 15 games. Adjust that for just forwards, and it's bottom 3 in points and rebounds allowed. So their bottom 5 3-point defense could also help him compile some assists if the perimeter shooters like DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, who like to put up the higher volume of threes on this team, can find their shot tonight. I'll just say honorable mention that I was looking at. You really want a crazy one. DeJounte Murray, they're playing the Jazz. Trey Murphy is out. Zion Williamson hasn't really done anything crazy lately. Murray came back from that injury with a couple pretty monster games. Won't have Trey Murphy in there, which has been his best route to compiling assists. But, you're getting the Jazz matchup, and this is a very, very rare Dinger Tuesday, King of the Court Tuesday, where we don't target the Jazz, even though they're on the board. So food for thought. If you want to go absolutely nuclear on the final week of the year, that's who I would be looking at. I had him in here and then was like, let's stick within the top 8 because almost every winner has come from the top 8 so far. So I figured that was a good place to stay for the final one of the year.
Well, good verbal reminder that it is fun to target the Jazz. That's always a decent way to look at this. But all right, I love it. Thank you. Do you have one that you're going to officially apply your token to tonight, Dave?
I'll go with Cooper Flagg. I really liked him last week. He didn't take advantage of the matchup, and then 45 and 51 points. Let's see it.
Love it. All right, I'm going to take Bron. You had me when you said we just need LeBron James to do LeBron James things. That's an all-time sentence. I feel like we've seen that plenty of times before. No Luka. I think it could happen down the stretch run here for the King.